sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.
All right, so welcome back for another deep dive. And today we've got, well, it's a story that's kind of like, well, it's got more twists and turns than like a Hollywood thriller, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about musician Diddy, formerly known as Sean Combs.
Right.
And some pretty serious allegations involving his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura.
Yeah, and you know what's really fascinating to me about this case is that it just throws a spotlight on the challenges of evidence in like the digital age.
Yeah.
We rely so heavily on these digital records, but how do we ensure that they're accurate and that they haven't been tampered with? You know, this case kind of brings that whole question front and center.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
So our main source today is a TMZ article.
Okay.
With a very attention-grabbing headline.
Yeah.
It says, CNN destroys video of Diddy beating Cassie. Diddy's lawyers claim.
Wow.
So to catch everybody up, this allegedly happened back in 2016 at the Intercontinental Hotel in L.A. And there's supposedly surveillance footage of the assault. But here's where things get messy.
All right.
The article claims that CNN obtained and aired this footage in 2024.
Mm.
And now Diddy's lawyers are saying that, well, they're saying that CNN didn't just like air the footage.
Wow.
They edited it
Okay.
to make the whole incident look way worse than it actually was.
Yeah.
They're claiming that CNN obscured the timestamp, rearranged like the sequence of events,
Oh, wow.
and then, get this,
Mm-hmm.
they destroyed the original footage.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
there's no way to know what really happened.
Right. If the original's gone, how can anyone prove or disprove what CNN showed?
Exactly. That's the crux of the issue here.
Yeah.
It's Diddy's word against CNN's, and without that original footage, it just becomes a matter of who you believe, right?
Yeah.
And this has huge implications for the legal case.
Okay, so walk me through the legal side of this.
Sure.
Diddy's not actually being prosecuted for the 2016 assault because of the statute of limitations, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
Too much time has passed to bring charges for that specific incident.
Okay.
However, prosecutors want to use this video in a separate federal case that Diddy's involved in, and they're arguing that it shows this pattern of quote-unquote violent propensities.
Violent propensities.
Yeah.
So they're trying to like paint a picture of him as someone who is prone to violence?
Precisely.
Okay.
But here's the problem.
Yeah.
Judges are extremely wary of edited footage as evidence.
Yeah.
They need to see the raw, unmanipulated video to determine if it accurately reflects what happened.
Right.
Was there provocation?
Mm-hmm.
Was it as violent as it was portrayed?
Right.
Without the original, it becomes a guessing game, right?
Right.
And that's not how our justice system is supposed to work.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the judge throws out the video, it could really weaken the prosecution's case.
Absolutely, yeah.
It
takes away a key piece of evidence that they were hoping to use to establish this pattern of behavior.
CNN has denied any wrongdoing.
Right.
They say they didn't alter the video
Mm-hmm.
and that they still have the original.
Right, but that just adds another layer of complexity here.
Right.
We have two completely opposing claims, right?
Yeah.
It's a he said, she said situation, and without that original footage, it's incredibly difficult to determine who's telling the truth.
And to make matters worse, the Intercontinental Hotel where the alleged assault occurred has since closed down.
Oh, wow.
So there's likely no other copy of that original footage.
Right.
It's like it vanished into thin air.
Right. And that just highlights a crucial issue in the digital age, right? Yeah. The potential loss of vital evidence. We rely so heavily on these digital records, but they can be fragile.
Yeah.
What happens when that evidence disappears?
Right.
How do we ensure accountability?
Yeah.
This case really forces us to confront those questions.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is mind-boggling to think that, potentially crucial evidence could just disappear like that.
Right.
But, this missing footage, it's not the only head-scratcher in this whole Diddy saga.
Right.
The TMZ article also points out some curious timing surrounding the video's release.
Yeah. The timeline. So according to the article, the alleged assault happened way back in 2016.
Right.
But the video only surfaced like 8 years later in 2024 when CNN aired it.
Yeah.
And get this, Diddy wasn't actually arrested for the alleged assault until after CNN's report.
Wait, hold on. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So the statute of limitations had already passed for the assault, meaning he couldn't be charged for it.
Right.
But then CNN broadcast this footage, and suddenly he's being arrested.
Yeah, that timing certainly raises eyebrows.
It does.
It makes you wonder if the video's release played a role in the decision to bring charges.
Yeah.
Even though it was technically too late to prosecute the original incident.
This is where it feels like we're like wading into some murky ethical waters, you know?
Yeah.
Did CNN's reporting, whether intentionally or not,
Right.
influence the legal process?
Mm-hmm.
And does that cross a line?
It's a valid question. Media coverage, it doesn't exist in a vacuum, right? It can have real-world consequences, especially in high-profile cases like this. And it brings up this broader issue of the power dynamics between media outlets and the justice system.
Now, speaking of power dynamics, there's another layer to this story that I found particularly intriguing.
Okay.
The TMZ article, it included like a photo gallery titled Diddy and Cassie Together.
Right.
Apparently, they stayed a couple for a while, even after the alleged assault in 2016.
That's right. Yeah, they were together for several years following the incident.
Wow.
And that adds a whole new dimension to the case, doesn't it? It makes you question the narrative of violent propensities that the prosecution is pushing.
I mean, if Cassie remained in a relationship with Diddy after this alleged assault, wouldn't that seem to contradict the idea that he's inherently violent?
Yeah.
It makes me wonder about the dynamics of their relationship and whether there's more to the story than what meets the eye.
Yeah. It's a good reminder that personal relationships are complex.
Yeah.
And often don't fit into neat, easily digestible narratives.
Yeah.
There's could be factors at play that we're just not privy to, right?
Right.
And this is where it becomes crucial to be cautious about jumping to conclusions based solely on what's presented in the media.
I think you've hit on a really important point.
Yeah.
We tend to gravitate towards sensationalized stories.
Right.
Especially when they involve celebrities.
Right.
But this case goes far beyond, celebrity gossip.
Exactly. It raises these fundamental questions about evidence, about media ethics, about the complexities of truth in the digital age.
It's a microcosm of the challenges we all face in navigating or world saturated with information,
right?
Where it's becoming increasingly difficult to discern fact from fiction.
So where does that leave us? We have this missing footage.
Right.
We've got conflicting claims, and the question of whether CNN's reporting may have influenced legal proceedings.
Right.
And then we add in the complexity of Diddy and Cassie's relationship, which further muddies the waters.
Right.
It's a lot to unpack.
It certainly is. And this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
This case is far from over.
Yeah.
And it'll be fascinating to see how the legal battle over the video plays out. But regardless of the outcome.
Yeah.
It serves as a powerful reminder that we need to be critical consumers of information,
right,
especially in this digital age where manipulation is rampant.
Okay, so we talked a lot about the missing footage and the potential consequences for Diddy's legal case, but this issue extends far beyond this one celebrity scandal.
Imagine this happening in any legal case.
Yeah.
Crucial evidence just vanishes.
Yeah, it's a terrifying thought.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it raises a critical question. How do we protect against this in the future?
Mm-hmm.
How do we ensure the integrity and preservation of digital evidence?
Right.
Especially when so much hinges on it.
It feels like we need a complete overhaul of our approach to evidence handling in the digital age.
No.
We can't rely on the same systems and procedures that were designed for like a pre-digital world.
Right. I completely agree. We need to start thinking about digital evidence as a foundational element of our legal system.
Right.
And treat it with the same level of care and attention as physical evidence.
Exactly.
This might involve developing stricter chain of custody protocols for digital files, exploring technologies like blockchain to create tamper-proof records,
right,
and investing in secure storage solutions that safeguard against loss or corruption.
It's like we're on the brink of this new frontier in forensic science,
Yeah,
where digital evidence is taking center stage.
Right.
And we need to equip our legal systems with the tools and expertise to handle this new reality.
Yeah.
It's a challenge, but it's also an opportunity to modernize and strengthen our pursuit of justice.
Yeah.
And this Diddy case, as unsettling as it is, might be the catalyst for much needed reforms.
Yeah, it's amazing how what seemed like, a celebrity gossip story has spiraled into a discussion about the very foundation of our legal system and the future of evidence in the digital age.
It's a testament to the power of these deep dives, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes the most seemingly superficial stories can lead us to the most profound and important questions.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
And as this case unfolds, we'll be sure to keep you updated on any major development. But in the meantime, let's shift gears and delve into another fascinating aspect of this case.
Okay.
The role of media ethics. Okay, so we've talked about the missing footage and how that impacts the legal case. We've also touched on the unusual timing of Diddy's arrest.
Right.
And how that raises questions about the influence of media coverage.
Right.
But there's another layer to this whole situation that we need to examine more closely.
Yeah.
The role of media ethics.
You're right. This isn't just a legal case. It's a case study in how news outlets handle sensitive information.
Right.
Especially when that information could potentially influence legal proceedings.
Well, let's rewind a bit. CNN obtained this surveillance footage allegedly showing Diddy assaulting Cassie.
Right.
They then aired portions of it, which ultimately led to Diddy's arrest, even though the statute of limitations for the assault had passed.
Right, and now Diddy's lawyers are claiming that CNN edited the footage to make the incident look more violent and damaging.
Right.
And remember, we don't have the original to compare it to.
That's what makes this so ethically complex.
Right.
On the one hand, CNN has this responsibility to report on news that's in the public interest.
Right.
But on the other hand, they also have a responsibility to ensure accuracy and fairness in their reporting.
Exactly. And the question becomes, did they cross a line by airing this potentially edited footage?
Right.
Did they prioritize sensationalism over responsible reporting?
It's a tough call. I mean, they could argue they were just reporting on the evidence that was available to them.
Right.
But then there's the issue of whether they properly vetted the footage before airing it.
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
Did they do their due diligence to verify its authenticity and to consider the potential impact of broadcasting it?
Right.
Especially given that the original footage is now gone.
This goes beyond Diddy.
Right.
Imagine this happening in any case, where the media obtains and airs footage that could potentially sway public opinion or even influence a jury. What are the ethical guidelines for handling such sensitive material?
It's a gray area and one that the media industry is grappling with more and more as we become increasingly reliant on digital evidence.
It feels like we need a broader conversation about media responsibility in the digital age.
Yeah.
How do we balance the public's right to know with the need to ensure fairness and protect the integrity of legal proceedings?
And how do we hold media outlets accountable for the content they broadcast?
Right.
Especially when that content has the potential to cause real harm.
These are weighty questions, and unfortunately, there are no easy answers.
Right.
But I think this case highlights the importance of critical thinking,
Yeah.
both as consumers of media and as participants in the legal system.
We can't just blindly accept what we see or hear.
Right.
We need to ask questions, consider different perspectives, and be aware of the potential for bias or manipulation.
So, listener, as you continue to follow this case and others like it, I urge you to stay vigilant. Don't just take the headlines at face value. Dig deeper, examine the evidence, and form your own informed opinions.
Right.
The search for truth in the digital age demands our active participation and critical thinking.
It's been a fascinating deep dive into a case that's much more than a celebrity scandal.
Yeah.
It's a story about evidence, ethics, and the challenges of navigating a world where information can be both powerful and easily manipulated.
And as always, thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery.
Absolutely.
We'll continue to follow this case closely and keep you updated on any significant developments.
Of course.
Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning everything.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what